Hey guys, I'm Jill Powell and I am with Taya today, and we have created this gorgeous natural skin look with a cream foundation. So stay tuned for all my tips. Okay, so you're saying that you have slightly sensitive skin, but nothing too crazy, right?
Right.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna do just like a beautiful skin look. You've got a gorgeous, like really fair complexion. So the biggest thing with fair complexion is making sure you match properly. She has a little bit of a tan on her arms, so I could darken her face, but your neck is still really light. So I think what I'm gonna do is keep all of this really consistent, and that's gonna be the biggest thing when working with fair skin. You wanna make sure that you can match the undertone and the surface tone to even everything out. So I always start out with really good skincare prep. This is a moisturizer by Dr. Brandt. It's a hyaluronic acid moisturizer, which is a natural molecule found in your skin. And what hyaluronic acid does is it retains water. So it basically pulls moisture from the air and it holds 1,000 times its weight in water. So imagine it's like a little sponge. So you know how your beauty blender, when you get it wet, it expands in size? A hyaluronic acid molecule, when it gets moisture, it expands. So if you have fine lines or wrinkles, or if you're just really dry, this is a great moisturizer for you because it pulls moisture from the air so that throughout the day, as you get more dry, it actually keeps your skin hydrated. So I love to just massage this in. Really want to get the skin nice and prepped before any foundations. That way you don't see any texture, any dryness. And this one also like absorbs really well. So even on your forehead, there's like no residual slip or anything, which is really nice. It helps makeup to stay on better if there's no too much slip. So I actually had pulled out a primer to use, and I'm not sure I even need to use it because your skin feels, with this moisturizer, it doesn't feel super slippery. But this is the Lancome Prep and Matte. I really like this one for like a long wear foundation look, but I kind of like just how this is sitting on your skin. So I'm gonna skip the primer step today. It's okay to skip primer sometimes, guys. So I'm actually gonna be using a stick foundation. This is the Lancome Tante Doll Ultra Wear Makeup Stick. I love these because they're super long wearing. Cream is great for skin to just make it look like skin. It usually sits really beautifully on the skin. And this one is a pretty good color for her. So I can apply it directly to her face, or I can use a brush, either one. I'm gonna use a brush just to create a nice flawless finish. And I'm just going to test the color first. That looks like a pretty good match to me. It might have a little too much pink, but we're gonna mix a little yellow in there if we need to. All right, so I'm just applying a little bit of this stick foundation. She's got beautiful skin, so I don't want to cover it up too much. I'm applying it with a MAC 190 brush, just for like a nice, soft, flawless finish. And what I love about these sticks is that you can also throw them in your purse if you want to touch up. It's very quick and easy. Foundation is one of those things that like you don't typically bring with you, but this is great for any of us who are busy or on the road or need a quick touch up halfway through the day. So just evening out everything really nicely. And what's nice too is that these don't always need a powder on top of it. If you know me, you know I don't love to use a ton of powder. I feel like I like the skin to look like skin. I am taking this NYX HD concealer in a yellow tone, like it's literally yellow. And then I'm mixing it with the NARS concealer, the Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly, because I don't want it super yellow. I want to kind of give a little bit more yellow to her skin than what the pink is right now. So I'm just going to go into specific areas and kind of use it to highlight and to bring some more yellow tones to her skin so it doesn't look too pink. And I always love carrying different color correcting concealers. This one's really nice because it's sheer, it's not super heavy. But that way you can change any color if you need to. So you see that we're just kind of highlighting right under our eyes, down the center. I try to do a lot of the center of the face because that's where the concentration of, when you're looking at someone, you look at the center of their face. So if you have that color spot on, and the perimeter around the chin is really important too. I'm gonna mix that guy and that guy, and then just turn this way for me. And I'm gonna get right here, because you wanna make sure that this color blends into her neck seamlessly. Okay, so now we have her complexion nice and perfect and even. We will go in and highlight and contour and do all that fun stuff. So my first step after complexion is usually a contour. This is my fun little palette, and I'm gonna use kind of these lighter ones. I think I'm gonna go right here, and I believe this one is maybe by Makeup Forever. All right, so I'm just gonna give a little bit of a contour, and I'm starting with her cheek. I'm using an angled blush brush, and I'm just kind of creating a little bit of a shadow on her cheeks. And this will create some dimension and just kind of sculpt out her cheekbone a little bit. Same thing on the other side. And then a little bit along just the outer part of her forehead. I don't want to take your forehead down too much, so we're just kind of do it on the perimeter to make everything kind of go together. Also going to take the same bronzer and just do a tiny bit on the nose. I'm not really doing a full nose contour. It's not my favorite, but when you have really like a light skin tone, you do want to create some dimension. So putting a little bit of bronzer on your nose will just kind of bring all that bronzer together. That way you don't look like you have strong cheeks and nothing else. With a fair skin tone, you want to be careful of your blush tone colors. This one is by NARS. I absolutely love it because it's this beautiful, light, kind of soft pink shade. It doesn't have a ton of color, but it's exactly what this kind of a skin tone needs. So I'm just going to use kind of a small blush brush. This one's by BH Cosmetics, the number 2. Get a little bit of this beautiful color called Loves Me Not. Limited edition, so they might not have it anymore, and I'm just going to go right, yes, I love this color, right on top of her cheekbone, and I'm just going to kind of blend it into that bronzer so that there's no definite start and stop. You just want it looking like a natural flush. So pretty. You can also add just a touch to the top of your forehead, nose, chin. Especially with a light color like this, it kind of just brings a little bit of color to the face. Looks really, really nice. Okay, so we all know I love glow. So we are going to use the ambient light from Hourglass on the tops of her cheekbones. Actually, a little bit on the cheeks too. I love it so much. And this highlighter is just really subtle. It's nothing too crazy, too shimmery, but it just kind of brings that like lit from within glow. It's so pretty. All right, this is just a clean mascara wand. I'm just gonna brush her brows up. Kind of see the shape, and then I'm gonna fill them in. I might do a powder. You can do a powder, you can do a pencil, you can do a gel, pomade. There's so many different brow products out there right now. I think I'm just gonna do a powder. So in my little contour palette, I have moved all my Anastasia Brow Powder Duos in here. I'm gonna use the Sigma Angled Brow E75. And we're gonna do just like a light, she doesn't need a lot of color because she has hair. So we're gonna start with, I think this is taupe, just to kind of give a little bit of color without it being too dark. So I like to focus the powder first along the bottom of the brow. That way you get a little bit of definition there. And then I'm just kind of stroking through with my brush to kind of create that natural brow shape. And if I need to, I can go back in and add a little bit of brow pencil for more definition. And I'm mixing these two colors together because I don't want her brows to be super dark. So I'm just doing a little bit of the light tone and a little bit of the deeper tone. Completely forgot to give you lip balm in the beginning. It's always good to condition your lips while your skincare goes on. This one is a sleeping mask, so it's actually like a really rich lip balm, and this is by Innisfree, which is a brand that I discovered when I went to Korea, but now they have it in the United States and I'm very excited about it. Okay, so just to recap, I mean, you have gorgeous skin. We wanted to make sure that we hydrated her skin really nicely, so we used a hyaluronic acid moisturizer from Dr. Brandt. So we skipped the primer step and went straight into the foundation. I used the Lancome stick foundations. I used with a 190 brush from MAC just to give a nice even all over coverage to her skin, but also keep it nice and creamy and hydrated looking. So I did alter the color a little bit. So I went in afterwards with a yellow-based concealer by NYX, and then the NARS Chantilly, which is a very light neutral-based concealer. Mixed the two to kind of highlight certain areas so she didn't look too pink because she has some pink and yellow in her skin. So I highlighted around the jawline, through the center of the face, under the eyes, center of the forehead. Then we went in and contoured with a little bit of a bronzing powder, something very neutral, not orange, not too warm, so that it just kind of created a beautiful natural contour to her face. A little bit along the foreheads, we went in with that NARS blush just for a nice subtle blush color on the cheeks, and then I highlighted with the Hourglass Ambient Light powders. We finished her brows with the Anastasia Brow Powder and a little bit of Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And we finished her lips with some lip balm. So this is just an easy everyday skin, but you have beautiful flawless skin. She looks glowy, she looks natural. I don't have any powder on her, so this is where if you do feel that you want a powder, you can definitely go in with a translucent powder. You can even go in with a powder foundation if you want more coverage. But I really like the way that the stick foundation from Lancome sits on the skin. It just looks really natural. Does it feel sticky or heavy or anything? I mean, it just looks like skin. So we're gonna keep it powder free, and I think that you're done. I think you look beautiful. How do you feel? You haven't seen yourself. So this is a beautiful everyday natural skin look that you can get with a cream foundation with no powder and just look like skin. Thanks again for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to see next. All of the products used in my video are also linked below. And if you want to see more, follow me anywhere at Jill Powell Glam. Thanks again.